Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 5. That's right, folks. It is the fight of the century, the rumble in the streets of New York. It's a boxing issue. We threatened it last time. Fairchild needed to get some, sense knocked out of him. Mark's going to do it. See what we got. It's fun. It's pretty fun. This issue is pretty similar to a lot of stuff McKay's been writing. A lot of alternate storylines we're following and stuff. So I'm okay with it. I think it's pretty exciting. And I am getting very familiar with the artwork. So I think it's working really well. The coloring is still really sharp too. I like that. Though I think my favorite page of the book is the first page where we just get the depiction of all of the scars and marks that are on Mark Spector's body. Very much like some artist's interpretation of Batman where he's covered in symbols and scratches from his villains and his rogues. We see marks from the Sun King, cool Sun King reference in this book. The Black Spectre, Stained Glass Scarlet, all characters who we have seen appear in this run except for Sun King. I don't think he's appeared yet. Anyways, Mark is taping himself up because he's about to head into the ring and he's talking to Khonshu. Khonshu, not physically in the book, but his voice is, and he's just like, Mark, every scar is a lesson. What you're about to do, just take note of what's happening because you're going to do something silly. I know, my boy, you're going to do something dumb. It's cool. I don't know. The white colors just really pop in this issue. It looks so spectacular. As Mark's doing something silly, which is just beating up a guy, we follow Badir and Soldier as they are headed to someone's apartment. They knock on the door, and it's Mrs. Chang, and they walk inside because her son is sick, and Badir is still a doctor, while he is not being Hunter's Moon, and he's wanted by the police and all that. He still has an obligation to help the people that are in the Midnight Mission territory. However, her husband does not want him administering any medicine on his son. So he snaps at them, calling Soldier a vampire in a very derogatory sense. And Soldier's about to lash out at the guy. But Badir just says, we'll go, okay? We're not going to fight this. And Soldier's freaking out, having a rough moment. And Badir's just like, stop. Just stop. I've had enough of this. Just slams into the wall I know who you are and how you feel. And your pride is not going to be the downfall of my work, nor will it be my brother's, okay? We don't have the mission, but we have work to do. We'll return when the father is not here, and we'll treat the child. But for now, we have to retreat. Very smart, very Badir. Looks great. So much fun. Let's cut to the anime ring, which is just, it's crazy. The size of Fairchild and the scrappy nature of the shimmering lights, it's incredible. I don't know. I love it so much. He's like, hey, Mr. Knight, you made it. Let's put on a good show here. How do you want to do this? You want to wait for the bell? You want to count down? He's like, let's just do the bell. Ding. And the fight's about to break out. So that's going on. We cut to the rest of the Midnight Mission where we have 8-Ball and Reese and Greer. And they are fighting, Frankenstein characters. They actually have a name. It's the Electric Horsemen. Essentially, this is a callback to the first issue of the run, which is when Mark was doing an arm wrestle with a Frankenstein. Pretty fun. And by first issue of the run, I mean Jed McKay's time on Moon Knight. I should specify that. Greer's freaking out. She's like, this isn't fair. We should really be doing some good here. What's happening to us sucks. And just like Badir calmed down Soldier, you see Reese try to calm down Greer. Can you just stop? You have such a superhero mindset to these things. And you've just been doing it for so long that you're just being blinded by it and you're not processing your emotions properly. We're doing our job. We're going to get through it the way we know how, and it's going to work. We're going to be fine. Okay? We then cut back to the boxing ring. And I really like the depictions. I talked about this in the last issue. The panel work we see when it is just Jake and Steven and Mark all existing together. It's so incredible. And I love the depiction that Jake's watching the fight on a TV at a bar, and then Steven's on a computer screen watching it from his office. And they're just trying to tell Mark how to get in here. Here's how you should react to this. Go in for the kill, sweep the leg here, that kind of stuff. And Mark's like, you guys just let me focus for a second, please. I really dig it. It's really fun. It looks like he's got Fairchild pinned down for a while, like he's going to actually kill him, and with all his strength, like it's not doing anything. Like he's got him in like a chokehold where he like take out his neck, but it's not doing anything. Nothing is happening to Fairchild. What could that mean? Then in like the most anime scene ever, you just see Fairchild like flexes and Mark like bursts off him. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that's who I am, buddy. I just wanted to give you like an inkling of like success before I pound your ass into the ground." Man, Fairchild just looks like an anime villain. It is incredible. Just a disgusting, coked up lunatic. We'll talk about like his history a little bit more here, but it's crazy how insane this guy looks and how it kind of connects to other stuff going on with Mark in like his current era or like the past couple of eras for him. So we cut back to the streets where the rest of the Midnight Mission teams up. They're just taking in the air one last time before descending into the sewers. Greer's like, we have to have a plan now. Like, we just can't keep doing this thing. It's not working. It's going weird. I'm not happy with it. We got to talk to Mark. I'll talk to him, and it's time we form a real plan. And Badir's like, yeah, good luck with that. I'm not being involved with that. And as they get down there, it's the vampires that smell blood, and we find like a woman surrounded by a bunch of dead bodies. Looks like the vermin bodies from earlier that Mark fought. And there's like a person chained up there. And she's like, it was going to end it. They're going to kill me. He said he was protecting all of you. And you're like, oh, what's going on? What's that? Oh, no, poor woman. We'll cut back to that probably in the next issue. Because before that, we have to finish up the scene with the fight. And Khonshu's talking to Mark like, you have been so blind to one very key thing. Look at your enemy, and then look at yourself. Like he is like some stupid hayseed farm boy who made good, got big, does coke. But look at his body. You know, yours is like a roadmap of violence carved into your flesh. He's got no scars. He is like a perfect, pure-grown body. And Mark's like, you have powers? It's like, I don't have powers, buddy. I told you I was a farm boy. I'm a simple son of the soil, you know? And as he says that, I think this is brilliant, and this is like the brilliance of the lettering. So you can see in the page where it's like starting to change from like, I told you I was a farm boy, a simple son of the soil. And then the lettering changes for Fairchild, and it is a classic type of lettering that is kind of revealing where he's from. He's got a different affliction in his voice, and he admits, you know, I might be from a different place. Like that farm I grew up on is in a distant land all the way from shining Asgard. And you're like, oh my goodness, an Asgardian just beat up Moon Knight. You're like, that's kind of cool. I love the simple transition of the lettering. I think it's really brilliant. And it's a really cool idea because it kind of goes back to like what started off Jed McKay's run on Moon Knight, which was Khonshu imprisoned for like attacking the Avengers. And in that, I think he got possession of Mjolnir for a minute, and then he was locked on Asgard too for a minute. So it kind of connects back to the Fist of Khonshu is kind of like enemies of Asgard, and now we have like a coked up freak. Imagine, do you remember like the 90s version of Thor where he had like that really stupid costume? Imagine if that version of Thor did a lot of cocaine and became like a lunatic. That's what we're seeing here in Fairchild. I think that's pretty fun. And this book just looks great. I love all the colors. I love all the panel work. We're doing something fun here, and I dig it a lot. I think it's really, really interesting. I'm glad it exists in this format. Really fun idea to bring Mark back to basics where he's like, I'm just going to box some guy. That's cool. I like that. So, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 5. I am going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.